Hello everyone, welcome to channel Knowledge of Friends. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're going to discuss about SBI PO exam, which is your in the Knowledge Hub, and this is your class 64, where we had done your 63 classes in the last session, and this is your section 1, which is your reasoning ability, that what we have to discuss here. In the same way, we have done your in 64th class we had done your 35th question of the next paper that we had solved here. So now we go for the next one, and that is here you have that we will be given a passage followed by several possible inferences which can be drawn from the fact states in the passage, and we have to examine such inference separately in the context of the passage and decide upon its degree of truth or falsity. So here you have to mark answer 1 if the inference is definitely true, that is it properly follows from the statement of facts given. Mark answer 2 in the inference of the probably true, not definitely true in the light of the facts given. Mark 3 if the data are inadequate, that is from the fact that given you cannot whether the inference is likely to be true or false. Mark 4 if the inference is probably false though not definitely false in the light of the fact that is given. Mark answer 5 if the inference is definitely false, that is it can possibly be drawn from the fact that is given or contradict the given fact. Now the passage that we have here is that the variation in the overall asset quality of hand gross non-performing asset, which is NPAs, that are reportedly 27% higher at the December 2009 and then the end of the December 2008 is not surprising. Any slowdown in the growth is bound to trigger a rise in NPAs, as more and more growth is bound to trigger a rise of NPAs as more and more companies default on loan repayments. You can write the passage as well. The effect would companies default on low repayment, and the effect would be pronounced when the slowdown coincides with the severe global recessions, but for the restructuring of the loans permitted by the central bank on fairly generous tariff terms, and that is NPAs would have been still higher. Prudent bank that have to care while sanctioning the loans and then monitoring the post-sanction disbursement legally, and should be able to weather the crisis. But it is one thing to have an NPAs rise because of the cyclical downturn. It is quite another to have NPAs rise because of policy error that is entirely within the realm and of a policymaker. And this is what we need to guard against excessively low interest rate, skew the risk forward equation by making the project that are actually not visible appear visible till date interest and rate reverse, and the same project cease to be viable. It is now well established that long periods of unduly low interest rates encourages the bank to take more risk, and the low interest rate regenerate the driven by an easy money policy rather than macroeconomics fundamentals that lead to the excessive expansions of credit at incentives banks in the take or more risk in search of higher return, and the misplaced risk as well. Now we go for the questions here, and that we have as follows. So first we will be going for the 36th question for this passage. So the question is, low interest rate on the credit reduce the capacity to absorb the various unaccounted risk factors. So here we go. Okay, now we go for the next one. that we will be solving this, and that we have as follows here for this, that inferences is false because in the passage it is clear that it is now well established that long periods of unduly low interest rates encourages the banks to take the more risk, and that will go for the fifth one, which is your the fifth one will be the right answer, where the inferences is definitely false. I just write it down. If the inference is definitely false, that is, it cannot possibly be drawn from the facts given, or it contradicts the given fact. This is your fifth one. Okay, now we go for the next one, which is 37th question. The question is, banks NPAs occurs only due to economic factors. That is the 37th question. Banks NPAs occur only due to economic factors. That is we have for the same, which is here, that first inference is definitely true, and we'll go for the same. The first one is here true, and that is, you can write it down with these inferences as well. If the inferences is definitely true, that is, it properly follows from the statement of facts given. Now we go for the next one, which is the another important questions here. So for that, it will be, the central bank always allows banks to restructure their loan in their event of rise in NPAs. That is the 38th question. Event of rise in NPAs. So let's go for the same. This inferences is probably true, that is, you are the second inferences, so we'll go for the same. So the second inferences we have here is, if the inference is probably true, though not definitely true, in the light of the facts given. Now we go for the next one, 39th question. Lower interest rate cycle, projects commercially, unvisible project as viable, unviable project as viable. So let's go for the same. And for that, inferences is definitely true, that is the first one. So let's go for the same. The first one, which is if the inferences is definitely true, that is, it properly follows from the statement of facts here. Now we go for the next one, which is the 40th question, and of course the last question of the session as well. The 40th question we have: higher NPAs indicate shortcomings in disbursement and follow-up of credit given by banks. So let's go for the same, and that is we have as follows. For that, inferences is definitely true, that is the first one. So let's go for the same. If the inference is definitely true, that is, it properly follows for the statement of facts given. Now we're going to end up here itself, and we'll discuss the rest in the next class, which is the class is your 37th question with 65th class of the session. So let's go for it, and that is the 40th question for 65th class. So stay tuned with us, and please like, share and subscribe, so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and you can also enjoy the video as well. Thank you.